This is the 19th of August 2013 with Vincent Corporation in Tampa, Florida. We have two samples to run here. One is from ORCHIDS paper, and it's a sludge that's been pre-thickened in a screen. But if I take it and squeeze it, I can get water out, and it looks, it should press real well. We're going to press it in this little laboratory press, CP4 over here. The other sample is from Tawanda Metadine. It's more questionable.
We got all kinds of salt makers about it. Every time we play, somebody goes,
we took a clump out of the bottom and put it in a cotton cloth and twisted it in the ball. We got a lot of liquid out, and it looks like it could press well. We'll find out. We're going to run the ORCHIDS paper first because we know that'll work, and then we'll try this stuff. The press we're going to use is just a little CP4 press, 1.5, 2 horsepower motor. This one's set up for 110 volts, so it has a reversing switch, gearbox, the screws in the inlet hopper. This inlet hopper will tend to bridge because it's real wide at the top and real narrow at the bottom. So we will poke the material to keep it moving through the press. That does not happen in a larger press. The screen on this one is a wedge wire screen. You can barely might see inside there. Those slots that you can see are 15/20 thousandths of an inch wide. That brass piece is a discharge cone. The plastic wheels push it in, and it is actuated by an air cylinder. The higher you give the air cylinder pressure, the more force against the cone, the harder the screw has to work to squeeze the fiber hard enough for it to get out past this cone. Cake will fall down here. Press slicker will come through the screen and drain out the back end. And I see we've got a bucket set up to do this. Yep, we're at Vincent Corporation. We have a lot of rental presses and spoils of war and things that make screw presses work. Yep, Bill is starting to feed the material. This is the ORCHIDS paper primary clarifier sludge. I think it has other waste flows from the mill mixed in there. Sort of felt like it had some polymer. I didn't get my hand real dirty. We're looking in the inlet hopper, and you can see material as it's fed in. Good feeding action there. Oops, it's already coming out here. Unpressed, a little bit of water. I am now going to close this cone. I've got an air regulator and a 4-way valve, and so the press will start filling up now. And we start squeezing some water out. Okay, this is what we're getting. This cake coming out. I've got minimum air pressure, like 15 psi on this, and I can't get a drop of water to come out. So I could expect this performance from a KP6. If I ran up the air pressure over here, sure, I could make it more impressive, but this is looking good here. There's the liquid coming out, and it's feeding well. That's probably because it's crumpled up. And so this one, as I expected, looks very good. It looks even better than I expected. Yep, 15 psi, which is minimal, and we're in good shape. We're running a time test. It's not much of a time test, but it'll at least give us a ballpark. There's Sparky, he guards the chickens here. Guard dog. Australian cattle dog. But Anyway, we've got a time test here. Yeah, go ahead, pour it in, Bill. We have not cleaned out the press. We're pouring in the metadine stuff. And I'm expecting the screen to blind over, and I'm expecting also all the solids to come through in the press liquor. Okay, the screen is blinded over. See, we got a full inlet hopper here, and nothing's coming through that screen to speak of. My flow of press liquor is very slight. Was there much left in there?
No, not a lot.
Not much. We had it pretty well stirred up. So the screen blinded, and I'm pretty sure we're getting a lot of solids through the screen. We'll let this run a bit. I'm not getting any cake. I'm gonna go pop the cone. Go ahead and pop the cone open, Bill. I don't think anything will come out when you do this. Yeah, that's okay. You can leave it that way. And we still have the screw still covered. That level is going down faster than I would have thought. But still, look at the amount of press liquid. Negligible. Press can't be commercially justified if this is all that it does. For now we have a failure. Coincidentally though, we'll be doing some testing this week at National Heat Exchange, where they're dewatering scale that is blasted out chemically and water pressure out of heat exchangers from chemical plants, refineries, and power plants. If we can make that work, we can make this stuff work, but right now I'm pretty negative. This will be a quick plant tour. There's a wedge wire screen like the one we just saw in our little 4-inch press, and you can see the inside where we have openings. This one's 10,000ths of an inch, even tighter, but it would have blinded all the faster with a smaller opening. Here's a screw after many years service at Meadow Lake Mechanical Pulp. That's in Saskatchewan. It's in for an overhaul. We swapped it out. We sent them a new one. They sent us their old one for repair. Here's a screw where we are building up a tapered shaft to get additional compression. We take a standard screw and build it up with the epoxy, extended epoxy. That works well for us. Here you see two screws side by side, more or less normal straight shaft, and then one where the shaft has been built up. We're in the screw department. These are flights that are used for making screws. They're all stainless steel, and here is the screw department where screws are, the flights are welded to the shaft. Here's one that's being rebuilt. I can tell because of it's obviously been polished by service. This is assembly department. There's a unit out of the rental fleet. There's the frame of a new press on its side. Another new press. Nothing really big here right now. We did ship a cargo container to Turkey today for a corn germ. And anyway, this is the activity in the assembly department today. Okay, I'll bet you thought I was kidding about the chickens. First of all, the test results from the ORCHIDS paper came out very well. We got a little over 5 pounds of pressed cake and a little under 5 pounds of pressed liquor in our 2-minute 20-second test.